Welcome back, Fear Fiends. Once more we delve into the deliciously dark parts of YouTube to bring you its hidden delights. Today, we look at folk horror.
The short film The Backwater Gospel is a chilling, animated folk tale centered on a desolate, God-fearing town perpetually cursed by the ominous visits of a figure known only as the Undertaker, whose arrival always foretells death. The town is manipulated by its greedy minister, who uses fear and promises of salvation to control the desperate, impoverished townsfolk and maintain his power. As tension escalates when the Undertaker's grim promise fails to materialize on a certain day, the people are driven to frantic violence. A deeper analysis reveals the Undertaker is an angel of God, sent not to cause death, but to test the town's faith. The film explores the idea that blind faith and fear of the inevitable, particularly fear of death, lead only to destruction. Ultimately, the community turns on itself, demonstrating that the true poison was the minister's fear-mongering and the town's own hollow faith.
I Curse This Land is a supernatural folk horror film set in a seemingly quaint coastal village that harbors a dark and ancient curse. Centuries ago, after a smuggler was betrayed and executed, his widow, a practitioner of dark magic, was hunted as a witch by the villagers. Before her death, she placed a powerful curse on the land, decreeing that no life, love, or happiness would ever flourish. In the present day, Allison buys a seaside pub, seeing it as a fresh start, unaware that the building is at the epicenter of the occult tragedy. A malevolent, vengeful presence, connected to the original witch, awaits in the pub's depths. As Allison begins a relationship with local handyman Matt, the curse is reawakened, endangering their lives. They are forced to investigate the village's disturbing history and confront the sinister entity to break the centuries-old spell before the witch claims her final revenge.
The short film This Land is a tale of fierce guardianship and the enduring power of nature against greed, set against the backdrop of the mystical, rugged Irish countryside. The story centers on Roisin, a woman who considers herself the sole guardian of a parcel of land that has belonged to her family for countless generations and is deeply connected to a hidden magic. Her protective stance is challenged when a greedy, money-driven relative arrives, intent on exploiting the natural resources beneath her feet for profit. Roisin's familial tie to the land is more than just ownership, it is a spiritual and magical bond that gives her the strength to fight for its preservation. Driven by an unwavering will, she engages in an unyielding battle to defend the ancient, magical heart of the landscape from modern-day exploitation and protect her ancestral heritage.
Flee the Light is a low-key, mystical horror film focusing on two sisters, the pragmatic psychology student Andra and the troubled Delphi, who is plagued by strange visions. While Andra insists her sister needs a doctor, Delphi seeks out a spiritualist, creating a divide between them. Delphi's journey of self-discovery begins after a cryptic phone call and a road trip to a place from her visions. She meets the mysterious guide, Kata, and begins to uncover suppressed memories of a past life, realizing her visions are clues to a hidden, inherited magic. The sisters learn that the malevolent force may have been targeting Andra all along. As the film progresses from a mysterious spiritual quest to a full-blown horror tale of possession, Delphi must connect with the roots of her magic to confront the ancient demon. The narrative explores themes of past lives, inherited trauma, and the complex relationship between science, psychology, and the supernatural.
To Dust All Return is a concise, observational short film that confronts the modern reality of saying goodbye to the deceased. The film takes its title from the well-known biblical verse, grounding its subject matter in the universal truth of mortality. However, rather than focusing on traditional or ceremonial grief, the video offers a stark, unflinching, behind-the-scenes look at the contemporary process of human cremation. By providing an insight into the internal, industrial workings of a crematory, the film presents the final disposition of our loved ones as a highly mechanized procedure. Its goal is to create awareness and a sense of reflection on the often impersonal, efficient, and industrial nature of death processes in the modern age, contrasting the spiritual and emotional weight of saying goodbye with the mechanical process that ultimately ensures, all are from dust, and to dust all return.
The Cat with Hands is a 4-minute, unnerving stop-motion animated short film told in the style of a dark, twisted nursery rhyme or folk tale. The entire narrative is delivered through a single, storytelling voice, recounting the horrific legend of a creature lurking at the bottom of a well. The creature is, disturbingly, a cat that has slowly replaced its own paws by stealing human body parts. The film's immense creepiness is derived from the simple, unsettling image of a household pet unnaturally adorned with human hands. Narrated like a bedtime story that has gone profoundly wrong, the short film builds a memorable, myth-like creature from the depths of a childhood nightmare. The story concludes with a chilling, sudden twist that solidifies its reputation as a cult favorite for its minimalist yet profoundly ghoulish concept and effective horror delivery.
The Rickety Man is a contemporary folk horror short film that delves into the terrifying effects of unresolved grief. 7. The Rickety Man, short film. The Rickety Man is a contemporary folk horror short film that delves into the terrifying effects of unresolved grief on a family. The story centers on Edward, a recently widowed father struggling to find stability 6 months after his wife's passing. He grows increasingly concerned by the disturbing behavior of his young daughter, Matilda, who exhibits unsettling speech patterns and an inexplicable detachment. Matilda's strange new fixation is the Rickety Man, a mysterious entity she claims to have befriended in the woods behind their home, who also becomes the subject of her dark, peculiar drawings. Edward's struggle is to discern whether his daughter is simply mourning or if a malevolent force has truly taken root. The film excels at building a palpable sense of dread by keeping the titular creature mostly off-screen. It culminates in a horrifying discovery for the father, revealing that the Rickety Man is not just an imaginary friend, but a sinister entity capitalizing on the family's pain.
Terror from the Shadows of Folklore is a horror anthology film that presents a collection of 5 terrifying tales, each drawing inspiration from different cultural myths and dark legends. The movie is structured around a central theme of ancient, malevolent entities and superstitions that bleed into the modern world. The segments include a chilling story about a creature that hunts children in the woods, a tale of a cursed artifact that brings misfortune to its owners, and a disturbing encounter with a siren-like figure. Each short story is designed to tap into primal fears associated with the unknown, using the rich tapestry of folklore to create a sense of dread. The film serves as a compilation of different directorial styles, bound together by the common thread of encountering horrors that have been passed down through generations, proving that old stories still hold terrifying power.
The 2014 horror short film Banshee is a suspenseful exploration of grief, sanity, and the supernatural, heavily inspired by Irish folklore. The story follows a distraught woman struggling to cope with the mysterious and tragic death of her husband. Consumed by her loss, she grows convinced that a malevolent force, the legendary Banshee, a female spirit whose wailing foretells death, is responsible for his untimely demise. Driven by an obsessive need for truth, she embarks on a chilling investigation to prove the existence of this otherworldly entity. As she delves deeper into the mystery, the film masterfully blurs the line between reality and hallucination, creating an increasingly eerie and unsettling atmosphere. The narrative forces the audience to question whether the horrifying experiences are the result of an actual supernatural entity or a terrifying manifestation of the protagonist's profound, grief-fueled emotional and psychological collapse.
The Curse of the Forgotten Tribe, also known as The Sacred, is a horror film centered on a group of university students who journey to a remote, isolated patch of the Florida swamps. Their purpose is academic, to conduct research for a thesis project on Native American folklore. Unbeknownst to them, the land they are on is not just historically significant, it is powerfully cursed. According to local legend, the grounds are imbued with a supernatural power that resurrects past sins, and even the dead, serving as a terrifying judge to punish anyone guilty of serious crimes. As the students settle in, they quickly find that their own past mistakes and transgressions are starting to manifest as terrifying, tangible nightmares. They realize too late that the Forgotten Tribe's curse demands a reckoning for their hidden guilt, turning their academic endeavor into a deadly fight for survival against a land determined to punish their every moral failing.